Hey, welcome in and welcome back to the Down South Philly show.
Yes, sir.
We are now
We in
one
the
and zero.
building.
We 1-0.
1-0, baby.
How you feeling about this one, man? Let's get into it.
Man, look,
Eagles, Cowboys, recap.
man, first off, I'm feeling amazing because we got the dub. That's what matters most. You know what I'm saying? Win by any means. And with it being the first game of the season, man, it's kind of like you know you're gonna have a bunch of hiccups and a bunch of rust and a bunch of basically stuff you messing up on. What you really want to do the first game of the season is find a way to get you a dub by any means while you still figuring it out. And that's what we did tonight. The defense came out committing penalties. Jaden Carter get kicked out before the game even really gets started. Um, so to be able to overcome, all that, Dory Jackson out there getting roasted, I'm saying, look like chestnuts on the open fire area, all that, regardless of all that, we still was able to come out of here with a dub. Now we can go back, review the film, and get better for next week. And you know who we got next week. So, we gotta tighten things up quick. This is not one of them seasons where we can play around early. We gotta get to it quick. And with us
Man,
already having a dub on the in the win column is looking good.
anytime you can get a NFC East win, a NFC win, you good in my book. So I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, the goal of the day was survive. We had to get a win by any means necessary with the schedule that we have, especially early, because it don't get easier when we got to go to Kansas City or have to go play the Rams and the Bucks. So we got to stack these wins early, and like you said, figure it out in the process because we don't have a whole lot of time to pull a Bengals and go 1-4. That ain't no option. So for us, job well done. Did it look pretty? No, but at the end of the day, it's still the same result. 4-point win. Could have been more. Dropped a few picks. We had some opportunities to make some plays. But by that same token, you could say that about the Cowboys. CD dropped a few today. Hey, they keep telling me that CD hands is better than AJ, but hey, somebody I know you lying. What the old boy say, I know you lying.
Boy need to go to Home Depot, pick up some hands.
But nah, I seen what I needed to see out of that game. So offensively, let's start on the offensive side of the ball. We come out looking great. Hurts looks sharp, making on time throws, using his legs when he need to, marching us down the field because on the opposite side of the ball, we was giving up everything because of Dory Jackson, and the secondary was getting turned everywhere but loose. Uh, but at the end of the day, we kind of expected Dallas to get off early and put the screws to them late, and that's pretty much what happened. They got off pretty much the whole first half, and then toward the second quarter, the end of the second quarter, we started shutting stuff down, and they didn't really move the ball too much after that. I didn't like the fact that we had all those penalties, but that's to be expected because this is kind of our preseason, right? So this first month of the season, that's when we got to work out them kinks. Um, we left a lot of meat on the bone, but at the end of the day, I'm happy that we got the win, and ultimately, that's all that really matters.
Yep. I hate that we didn't. We almost did, but I hate we didn't make it through the game without Landon Dickerson getting hurt because, he got 10 days, basically a 10-day rest period now, until the next game since we played on a Thursday. But hopefully he can come back because it was his back, it wasn't his knee or nothing like that. So hopefully, he can get that taken care of and be back for the Kansas City game because we definitely gonna need him. With the offense came out looking good. Jahan Dotson was looking good. He took advantage of his opportunities. We need other wide receivers to step up. AJ only had one catch, so usually wide receiver having one catch probably go off the next game. So why that KC game might be AJ Brown game. Usually it seemed like Smitty get off against KC, but could be AJ. But no, we let it way better than I thought early in this game, man. Usually when we start the season off, we be looking crazy the first couple of quarters. But I think about Kevin Patullo being there, through all those other times, he kind of knew what to call, what to look out for, probably how to get the guys plays to get the guys going. Stuff that hurts, like we this is hurts what fifth starting game or whatever, something like that, or maybe fourth or something like that. But um, he looked good. He looked good early.
Mhm.
Usually we come out slow. Second half we kind of turn it up and find a way to win. But this game, and I kind of called Dallas not scoring in the second half. I said they better get whatever they gonna get in the first half. They not scoring nothing in the second half. Maybe a field goal. They
Put
didn't
the
even do
screws
that.
to 'em.
Yeah, so they didn't even do that. So we got to kind of keep that up. That's something we kind of carrying over from last season so far. We just got to
Right.
keep it up. Like I said a little bit earlier, I don't like the fact that I don't like Adoree Jackson at that number two corner spot. He gonna be a liability. We
I ain't
got to
seen
get
enough.
Yeah, I done seen enough. We got to get Ja'Cory and Bennett out there. Um, and we need to go ahead and get Ja'Cory and Bennett out there right now because if we get to that Bucks game, if we get past that Bucks game and Ja'Cory and Bennett not looking like the answer, we know we need to go ahead and do something right there. Because Ja'Cory and Bennett, this still like the next two games will kind of be like him still warming up to the defense, which I think he about there now, but give him about two games, and if he go into that Bucks game and look crazy, Howie make a move, whatever we got to do. Um, if we can't get nobody right then, we got to do something before the deadline. But we gotta do what we can do early to get these early victories because we got a hard schedule. We can't mess around and wait to the trade deadline. We might be already looking crazy, win wise. So we got to take care of the cornerback two spot. I didn't have a problem with the safety play. Guys did drop some balls out there. So I don't know. Guys need to. I don't know what they need to do, but they got to work on catching them interceptions. We got to take advantage of our opportunities when we get them, especially with the secondary looking the way it's looking right now. Not that they looking bad, but you got to take advantage of your opportunities and help your team, your teammates out. We gotta nip the penalties in the bud. The penalties kind of was killing us tonight. Luckily, it didn't come back to bite us, but we had a lot of opportunities to either put Dallas behind the sticks or get them off the field, and we committed penalties and basically gave them the ball in the red zone or you know on our side of the field. So we got to clean that up. Like DB said, that was kind of to be expected, but at the same time, we can't keep doing that week in and week out, talking about we gonna clean that up next week. No, we gotta clean that up right now.
Mhm.
I don't like the fact that we kept kicking the ball to Turpin. I don't know why that was even in the game plan. It's like when we punted the ball, we wasn't punting it to him, but like on the kickoffs, we kicking the ball right to him. Now we gotta kick them out of bounds, especially dangerous return man like that. I prefer to kick it out for everybody, but um, you know, I don't know if they was thinking like, hey, that's how we get the game going, get a turnover or something. Nah, when you got a dangerous return guy back there like Turpin, we'll
Don't
take our chances on getting a turnover on defense. Don't worry about that kickoff team getting over. You know what I'm saying? You playing with fire. So I don't like the fact that they was doing that. They got special teams got to do better. Um, what else I got? Everything else, I mean, I ain't got a problem with everything else. My boy Nolan Smith was out. Nolan Smith was looking good out there. He was turning up. So shout out to Nolan Smith, Jahad Campbell creating the fumble. I don't know if they gave that to him or whoever was on Buddy back, but it looked like Jahad Campbell caused that. Akuba was looking good. Uh, I ain't got nothing crazy to say about Sidney Brown Reed. Defense was 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 looking straight outside of the penalties and Adore Jackson. Everybody on offense was clicking.
keep in mind this is without Jalen Carter.
and it was all Jalen. Like we said, Jalen Carter wasn't in the game. Um, we need the defensive tackles to. We need y'all to get y'all footing early. Joe Mo, Davis, whoever else we got in there, we need y'all to step up. So in a game like this, Jalen Carter would have been probably calling for some double teams, and those guys would have got one-on-one matches or better opportunities, but they didn't this game, and nobody really like took advantage of it, especially not in the middle of the defense. I feel like Hunt started to turn up late. Nolan seemed like he was in his bag the whole game. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I got, man. Just some stuff we need to go on there and clean up. I got faith that Nick and Fangio gonna clean up what they need to clean up. I like the game that Kevin Patullo was calling. I didn't see really no plays. Usually we see a couple plays. We like the hell. So I didn't really see too many of them plays. I felt like that. So I'm feeling good about Kevin Patullo. So we see. We gonna see how he do next game.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, we didn't run the ball as well as I wanted, but I guess we do got to keep in mind that Landon Dickinson hurt and he played through it, but he hurt at the end of the day. So we didn't necessarily get that same push that we normally used to seeing. And we can also just credit that to Dallas and the defensive line. Like we got to
Yeah.
give credit what credit is due. Like they did go out and get better at that position. Odigizua obviously trading for Kenny Clark, and then Sam Williams and the rook that they got out there. So I mean, they got some pieces. I think they got better in the run game, and at times they got pressure on Hurts and got him out the pocket. But for the most part, it's nothing that I'm too concerned about on the offensive side of the ball. We already knew what we were worried about defensively, and it basically came to fruition. But when you think about this game that we just watched, um, give me a player of the game.
A player of the game.
Mhm.
Player of the game. Defense, I'm gonna give you one on both sides of the ball. Defense, I'm gonna probably have to go with let me see. I probably have to go with Nolan. I just feel like Nolan kept flashing. Everybody else kind of was like solid outside of Dory. I feel like all the DBs was kind of solid. Um can't think of nobody on the linebackers was solid. Bond made some clutch plays. Jahad made some clutch plays. As a matter of fact, that fumble was kind of clutch by Jahad. So if I had to give it to
It
somebody,
saved the game.
yeah. So if I had to give it to somebody, it had to be either Nolan or Jahad. So I probably have to go. I'm gonna go. I'm still gonna go Nolan. I'm gonna go Nolan. I'm gonna go Nolan on defense, and I'm gonna go offense. I'm gonna go probably Jalen. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jalen on offense because I feel like it was a lot of times where he got out of bad situation. He used his legs to get yards. He just was making just the normal Jalen, making the right decisions when it mattered. They got him like maybe a time or two on sacks, but outside of that, he was doing his thing. It was kind of like it kind of like he was on cruise control a little bit. Like he was like he ain't look like he was worried back there in the pocket at all. He kind of just was taking what the defense gave him, and it was working. So I'm gonna have to go with Jalen on the offensive side of the ball. What about you?
Yeah, I had to go Hurts too. Just because he was just super efficient. This was one of them games where you turn the ball over once or twice, and that's ball game. It was
Yep,
tight.
yep, you're right.
Um, so ultimately that's what decided the game. That fumble.
Yep,
They fumbled it. We picked it up. We won the game. It was some Q dropped a few picks that could have sealed it for us
yep.
earlier. Um,
It seemed like whole
defensively,
secondary dropped something.
I probably had to give it to Jahad just because he forced the fumble that ultimately sealed the game. And plus, he just had a good game overall. Uh, Anytime you're not really calling it defensive player's name, they doing something right. So for this to be his first NFL start against, a division opponent, it didn't get it wasn't it can't get no bigger than that in week one. So yeah, I had to go Jahad Campbell and on defense and Hurts on offense as well. Um,
Shout out to the Rooks.
Shout out to the Rooks. Um, man, I that damn Jalen Carter's man. So we
Go ahead,
when we
speak on it.
first when we first looked at it, um, without any context, it was just like, "What you doing? Like, why would you even
Yeah,
spit on somebody?" And
for sure.
it's like he put us in a position where it could have got ugly for us
Right.
defensively. Now it started off pretty bad, but I think if we lose that game, uh, and we don't have the people that we have behind him, that would be an even worse look for him. Now, obviously, spitting on somebody, you just can't justify it. You can't have that. It ain't a part of the game.
Right.
Dak didn't spit on you. He baited you, and you fell for it. But ultimately, I want my defensive lineman to be a little mean. I don't want you to spit on nobody, but I do like that dog and that edge that he got in him. I just think, he's still in that phase where he need to calm down. Unfortunately, this is gonna be
Control
something that
rage.
we yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, this is gonna be something that's talked about until we play the
Next game.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Maybe even after.
Yeah.
But I just hate that he put himself in that position to be talked about in a negative light, especially when it seemed like he had kind of turned the corner with becoming the champion. But hopefully hopefully him getting thrown out of this game is all the game time he'll miss. We know that he probably gonna get fined on top of this. But hopefully we can expect to see him back for the Kansas City game. But
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on that?
And even if they wasn't going to let him be back for the Kansas City game, I think maybe now with the other angle of that coming out, even though it still ain't justified, it's kind of like, all right, he was out that one game, so we even.
Mhm.
So he'll probably be back for the KC game. Now, had they not shown that little clip of that, then it would have been up in the air, I think, for if he was gonna get suspended another game or not. But um, he should be back for KC. If he ain't back for KC for the KC game, I feel like they mismanaging that whole little situation. But the league kind of treat Philly different. So at the same time,
Mhm.
I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to stick it to us. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
already don't like us, and then they already don't like Jalen Carter anyway. Especially with how good he is, they want KC to get their lit back. So if they could do anything to help KC out, I can see them holding Jalen Carter out, especially the way he was abusing Dak in that Super Bowl. I mean, abusing
Mahomes.
Mahomes in that Super Bowl, who was looking like Dak. But and speaking of Dak, Dak had a good game. I can't say
Mhm.
I mean, he wasn't looking bad at all. Um, guys just was really dropping balls to be real. He
Mhm.
was hitting the guys he needed to hit. Getting out of sacks. That looked good. I already said he was a top 10 quarterback, and I said he was gonna have a good season this year. I think as the season go on, they'll find out if they can get if Dallas can somehow establish a run game, and then be able to play action. They'll be good. But CD dropped some balls, Pickens dropped the ball or two. But CD, as good as CD is, man, he good for dropping some balls. Like he been doing that his whole career, which is why it took me until 2 seasons ago to really have CD in my top 10. I know a lot of people was kind of already had CD in their top 10. Just I feel like they were just going off of CD, what he could do like after the catch and what they seen
In
from him in
college.
college. Um, But for me, just really just going off his NFL career, I didn't have him in the top 10 until like 2 years ago when him and Dak, um, that 23 season basically. when him and Dak was kind of going off right after Jalen and AJ had went off for them like 6 games or whatever. And then right after that, CD and Dak kind of had got on the same page right after I think they played San Fran. But yeah, so Dallas had a pretty good game on both sides of the ball, really. Um, we just kept breaking their. I felt like Hurts just kept like breaking their back with his legs, like you know what I'm saying. Outside of that, they had a decent game. They was on Saquon. You really can't ask for too much more. It's some plays they won back, but it was a good game overall. And as far as the Jalen Carter situation, like I said, I think he'll be back next game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pull some BS. But yeah, he ain't had no business spitting on that, man. Jalen Carter, he, and he know
You
it
a
too.
wild
You know,
boy.
yeah,
Yeah,
Jalen. But that's something Jalen to do, and he usually get away with stuff. He do little sly stuff on the
yeah.
side all the time. He
But
dang near
never
always.
spit though.
Yeah, he dang near always get away with it. Like he don't never usually get caught. But it's only so many times you gonna doggone do something and before you
Plus, that
eventually
was
get caught.
right in front of the rest.
Right in front of the refs, right when the game gets started. They don't even got no reason to be occupied with nothing else at the
Uh-uh.
time. So they ain't had nothing to do, nothing but time to sit there and watch what was going on.
That was an
Um,
easy call.
yeah, easy call. And it kind of was like blowing everybody's mind at first because it's like, bro, the game just started. You ain't what you doing
Mhm.
spitting on somebody. But
Yeah.
now that the other angle came out of that, because right after that, it looked like he was doing like this, like you spitting at me or whatever, because he kind of was doing
Mhm.
like that. I don't know what Dak said, but I guess Jalen was like, was you spitting at me? And knowing Dak, and now if y'all pay attention to Dak, he says Dak said a lot of slick stuff. So I can imagine Dak probably said something crazy. But if you look, Dak be saying some wild stuff, bro. I just
Hey, that
seen the
was a
clip of
savvy
him.
vet move.
Yeah, for sure. Um, which he probably, honestly, initially he probably just was spitting. And
Mhm.
then when Jalen said something to him, he probably was like, "Well, we could turn this into something." I wasn't really spitting at him, but yeah, if he want to take it that way, then it is what it is. And knowing that, he probably said, like I said, he probably said something slick because he always
Mhm.
saying either something slick or something dumb because he'll say some dumb stuff because he always talking about they about to go to the Super Bowl or playoff or something. And then as soon as they look like trash, he on the sideline talking about how
Hurt.
trash they look. I just seen the clip of Dak talking about something he gonna meet the Rams in the Super Bowl or something like that. Bro, shut up. Dang, he didn't get the season ain't even started yet. You talking about meeting somebody somewhere.
You already lying.
Yeah. Man, make it to the playoffs first, my boy. Make it through the season. But it is what it is. Good man game, man. We got out of there with a dub. That's all that matter right now. Time to start getting ready for KC. And they don't play until tomorrow, so we need to be getting ready right now.
Dallas look good though. Like, they look better than I thought they was gonna look coming out the gate. I'm sure they was juiced up from everything they've been hearing from the media and trading Micah. But I think they look as good as they could have looked against us. Now, if they execute a few more plays, who knows? It might be a different outcome. But we could say the same thing. So I think that's pretty much the best case scenario outside of a win, of course,
Right.
for them. And they probably looking at this like a moral victory because of who we are and how we said that it could have been a BTA, but ultimately it wasn't. So if it was a time to catch us, it would be now. They couldn't do it.
Mhm.
Uh, so it kind of is what it is from that regard.
And it's
Uh,
clutched by it being a division game.
yeah, we needed it. We
Yeah, we
couldn't
needed
afford to
that
drop that.
early.
We,
Yeah.
we couldn't afford to drop that. But the Cowboys, who they
Did they
play
play the Giants
next?
next? Who
Maybe Cowboys schedule. Yep. So they play the Cowboys next Sunday.
Giants. You said they play the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, they play the Giants next Sunday. So hey, might mess around and be 0-2 if they get caught slipping. This
For
ain't the same.
real.
This ain't Danny's Giants. So
And then at the same time, it's kind of like outside of not being the same Giants, like we said, it's early in the season, so this is the best time for teams to catch other teams slipping if they better than
mhm,
you.
right.
Because this was like this probably the best chance Dallas gonna have outside of like injuries.
Mhm.
But like this is gonna be like that's their best chance of like beating us. It was like this first game of the season. But I knew first time head coach, bro. You wasn't about to come get your first dub on this.
Not in Philly. Hey, but now Dak and Hurts have played 4 times, and they 2-2. So I suspect that we probably gon' we definitely gotta break the tie, in Dallas.
Yeah,
Normally, when you have a good team, you split between,
and
divisions,
hopefully
but
they both healthy. So
yeah, cause yeah, that's the other thing. It might mess around and but I think the next time we play them kinda mid-season, so we should unless Dak fold, we should be good to go.
if they
Um,
get beat by the Giants week 2, and boy gonna start playing
Boy gonna
seeds.
start limping.
Yeah, my my back spinal.
But yeah, uh, on the next one, I guess we can kind of talk about what to expect from and we'll preview it next Tuesday anyway, but what to expect from Kansas City. Obviously they playing
um,
tomorrow, so we'll
I
get to
mean,
see.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, obviously they play tomorrow, so we'll get to see at least we'll get an idea at least of what they'll look like against what we expect should be a good defense in the Chargers. And this will be the first look at them since we met them in the Super Bowl. So I personally think that the Chiefs still the Chiefs. A lot of people feel like they fell off because of what they saw in the Super Bowl, not keeping in mind the fact that they went 15-2 uh, to get there. So or whatever the record is, um, they still made it to the Super Bowl. It don't matter really the outcome of it. It don't take away from how you got there. They still made it to 3 Super Bowls in a row. So whether they won it or not ain't a huge deal for me. And I definitely don't change my mind as to how I feel about Mahomes, Andy, and Spagnuolo. I think that's the unholy trinity when it comes to football. So whenever you got those 3, you got a chance to win.
Yeah, I ain't really got a whole lot to say about that KC game. Like you said, they play tomorrow, so we'll be able to get to see them. The only thing I really got to say is, you know, these is two different teams. I know a lot of people are gonna be talking about, KC getting revenge and all that, but at the end of the day, it's two different teams. That's not we don't have the same as that team we had last year. And this would be their time for them to take advantage of it. I know they out there praying that we keep Adoree Jackson on the field. They got something for him. Um, but hopefully Fantasy will tighten that up. Like I said, I ain't got a whole lot to say about it. Now I did see some stuff that KC started taking advantage of late in the game. Even though we was like kind of pulling our starters, I feel like they started running a few different concepts at the end of the Super Bowl game to get guys open and to get guys in different places on the field that I know they will probably want to go ahead and try in this game, which they might not even have to just because we don't have the same pieces on the D line or the
Mhm.
secondary. So they kind of probably can go either kind of way they want, do a little bit of both. But yeah, like I said, I don't really got a whole lot to say about that game. I'll probably have more to say after I watch Kansas City, but it's still only gonna be the second game of the season. Like they could come out week 2 and do a lot of stuff totally different than what they do week 1.
Mhm.
Because you kind of gotta tailor your game plan for your opponent. Only thing we really be able to take away is how Mahomes is looking, maybe how Travis Kelsey looking, and what Spaz, kind of doing with the defense, but I don't know. I don't know
I
yet. I got to
mean,
see that. I got to see that game. We gotta
that's
we
the
gotta tighten up what we need to tighten up on our end. We really don't even really
mhm,
need to be worried about KC right now. We just gotta tighten up what we put on film.
mhm. Um, that's the benefit of keeping your coordinators too. So I mean, you had the benefit of not having to implement a brand new system on a yearly basis, and you can kind of build on things that work and scrap things that didn't in the previous season. So that's something that we really haven't had a whole lot of, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But uh, I like what I saw today from Kevin. It was a good start. We'll see what he do against a better defense or a projected better defense next week. I'm excited about that one. 1-0. Got to go 1-0 again next week.
Yep.
But yeah,
Shit, that's about it.
that's all we had for this one. We just wanted to kick it, talk a little game recap. We'll be back Tuesday with the full preview for the Kansas City Chiefs. By that point, we'll at least have game one to kind of talk about. But till next time,
We
this is the
live for the
Down
game tomorrow
South
too,
Philly.
so
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. We'll be right back here tomorrow, live streaming Kansas City and the Chargers. So don't miss out. Be on the lookout. And as always, go Birds.
go Birds.
I was fooling y'all. I don't know why the button ain't working.